as we can, explained by Emily Maitlis, who's here with her grand chart. Emily.
Yes, the touchscreen is back, and I'll be using this to bring you all the results of the night. So for a taster, let's go into England and look at some of the interesting councils that the Conservatives are defending tonight. This blue tells us the Conservatives have control here. The little red arrow tells us that for the most part here, Labour is in second place trying to gain these. Ed Miliband would love to see this entire slate turn red by the end of the night. Will he do it? They start easy on smaller majorities. They get much harder as you go down. What about the hung councils? This time, the grey tells us that no one party has overall control here, but there's some big prizes for Labour tonight, places they really ought to be picking up. What about Birmingham? They did very well here last time round. They got 14 seats. A similar result would deliver Birmingham safely home. Ed Miliband would love that, and he needs to have it. It's the biggest in the UK.
And of course all that affects local government, which we tend not to talk about. We tend to talk about these results as though they only mattered for the national picture. But actually, council by council, what happens matters to people living in those areas and in Birmingham and the other places. But on the other hand, Jeremy Vine is going to be looking at a national picture, building up those results into a portrait of the political mood of Britain. Jeremy.
The first result of the night in Sunderland, as with the general election, the North East seems to be the fastest at counting. Not surprising, a very strong Labour stronghold here. They were never expected to do anything other than win this. But you can see what's happened. They've really consolidated their gains here at the expense of the Conservatives. Let me show you what happened overnight then. This is how things have changed. Labour is up 8. They'll be very pleased with that. The Conservatives are down 6. The Lib Dems have lost their only councillor in Sunderland Council. They have been wiped off the slate entirely. If this is a pattern that they can start to repeat, not just in the North East, but in other parts of the East, the South East, they'll be very pleased in those battles that we're seeing in the South between the two coalition partners in government. And it's quite an odd situation for the Lib Dems in a way tonight, because this is the sum total of councils that they're actually defending this time round. We'll get 4 results tonight. We'll get 3 tomorrow. Let me take you to Portsmouth. This was somewhere where they have a majority of 4. They just lost 1 councillor last time round. It wasn't as bad a result as it was in other places. But look at the pattern there. The Lib Dems on 23, Conservatives on 17. If the Conservatives start to have a much worse night, then funnily enough, perhaps the Lib Dems will not fare too badly there. Of course, we don't know at this stage who's going to take the bigger hit. Cheltenham's quite an interesting one to watch. Sadiq Khan was saying that most of the councils are voting by thirds. This is somewhere where they're voting by half. That means half of the number of councillors are up for re-election. It allows for a bit more volatility, a bit more movement, if you like. More can happen there. The Lib Dems on 25, the Conservatives on 12. Let me take you into a couple of others. These are ones that we're going to see tomorrow. I'm going to ignore those for now. Eastleigh, Lib Dem probably can sleep pretty easily in their beds tonight with a majority of 32. I'll show you the picture in Chris Huhne's seat, the former Energy Secretaries. The Lib Dems on 38 and the Conservatives on 4. The point I want to make, the caveat, I guess, is that even if you don't actually see these councils change colour tonight, it's quite important to watch the councillor numbers. There's going to be a lot of movement there rippling beneath the surface, which might not show immediately from what you're seeing here. Ed Miliband and Labour is going to be very pleased with this one. Great Yarmouth 2 years ago, Nick was talking about the work of the foot soldiers, if you like. In 2010, at the general election, this was somewhere that the Conservatives took off Labour. So now they're starting to show or suggest that there's a reversal of fortunes. Labour here in Great Yarmouth on 21, the Conservatives on 18. No play here for the Lib Dems at all. Let's see what happened overnight then. Labour up 5, the Conservatives down 4. It's a pattern that you're going to see repeated. This seat, don't forget, this council, I should say, in the South East. What about one in the Midlands, Nuneaton and Bedworth, which was in no overall control? That grey, as you can see, has been pushed off by the red of Labour. They're on 25 now, the Conservatives on 8. If I show you that change overnight, Conservatives being pushed down, they're down 6, Labour's up 8, and the Greens have made a gain of 1 seat here. Lincoln. Now, this is somewhere where the Tories have taken a big hit. Let me show you again what happened overnight. This was Labour in 1997. Last year there was a gain, one from the Conservatives, and they've managed to consolidate that direction of travel. Labour is up 7 here, the Conservatives down 6, and the Lib Dem, their coalition partners, have also lost their seat here. They are down 1. So what we're starting to see, well, let me take you into Exeter, because that was somewhere that we heard Sadiq Khan talking about a little while ago as being an important one. This has been taken by Labour from an overall control. They're on 24, the Conservatives on 11, the Lib Dems on 5. They have their MP Ben Bradshaw here, of course, but this is a part of the world where they're not very well represented at a council level, the South West. And here you can see the picture. The Conservatives on no councillors, the Lib Dem down 4, and Labour is up 5. Sorry, I should say the Conservatives have not seen a change, but the Lib Dems have taken a hit there, and Labour is up 5. So a whole set of results that would be pretty good news for the Labour Party this far. Still early days.